Welcome aboard. It is good to see you all. Today, on this video, in this live stream, we are going to be talking about how to teach students cube roots using Minecraft, even if you don't actually play Minecraft yourself. We're going to be using, you can have the students using Minecraft, or we're going to be looking at an alternative for students who don't have Minecraft. I'm going to share all of my different resources of what I gave to the students and the expectations and the connections that I was hoping that they would make between the actual building of what they were doing in Minecraft and the actual lesson of cube roots. So if you're new here, my name is Tom Gibson, and welcome to the Middle School STEM Teachers Lounge show live stream. When you think of the Teachers Lounge, you think about, hopefully you think about it as a place where people, we want it to be a place where people are supporting one another, sharing what's working, sharing what's not working, and less of a place where we're complaining about the things that aren't, the things that are outside of our control. And so that's what I hope this live stream show to be about. And typically my live stream, I will actually talk about the video that I posted on Sunday and kind of do a little bit of a deeper dive on that. But this past video was like different ways what to do when you only have like 6 minutes left of class and you don't really know, have a lesson. It's not enough time to start like a new lesson or anything like that. So I didn't want to do a whole live stream on that. And so instead, I decided that I wanted to talk about Minecraft and how I'm using it in the classroom right now. So I do want to pull up my chat real quick. I'm on a new computer, and so I am working with a different software than I typically go with. I got the new Mac Mini M1 if you're a tech head like myself. And I'm trying to use OBS, which is like a really kind of clunky software. Decide whether I want to decide to get Ecamm Live, which is like the $100 software. So we'll see how things go. But I already can switch between things like this, even with my own software. And so last time I did a live stream, there was a big PC right here. And it's gone now, and you can't see it. It's just out of frame, but the little Mac Mini is right there. And so I really like it. I've got a little bit more desk space, and it's been fun. It's been good. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive in to what we are doing with cube roots. I will be sharing some of my resources that I've shared with the students. And so the goal here with cube roots is I want to teach students that a cube root is more than just what number times itself again will give me that number. I genuinely want them to actually think of a cube. Actually think that a cube root is how long one side of a cube is. And so just teaching them that this times this times this, what number to the third power will equal this number is not generally going to be the way that most students can kind of conceptually understand that. In the past, I've just used like Rubik's Cubes, but I thought, well, I've wanted to try Minecraft this year, so why not use this opportunity? Minecraft is all about cubes, so why not use this opportunity to try to do that? And so let's kind of go through these notes first and like what I do with the students and how I set them up. You can see that our goal is to identify perfect cubes smaller than 1,000. We're looking for perfect cubes because some students are like, how do I find the cube root of like 20? And it's like, well, like that one, you're probably gonna have to use a calculator. We're gonna be focusing on the perfect cubes, and we talk about later on what that actually means. And you can use Minecraft, Roblox, or Clasicube. I'm gonna get into Clasicube a little bit later, but Clasicube, you can kind of see. Whoops, here we go. Let's see. There we go. Clasicube looks a whole lot like Minecraft. And so there are different things that you can do with that for the student that does not have Minecraft. And I'm actually going to be going through, whoops, I don't want to save that to my Evernote. I'm actually going to be using Clasicube because I have not actually installed Minecraft on this new device. And honestly, like I don't even really play Minecraft. I took an online course. It was a free online course put out by Microsoft, kind of like at the end of summer and the beginning of the school year. And it was all about how to use Minecraft in the classroom. And the biggest problems that I ran into with that was that you kind of have to get all the students on Minecraft, the EDU, the education version of it, and it's $5 per student, and it's probably fine to get like the admin to pay for it. But then when you're doing that big of an investment, it's like, gosh, I feel like now I need to come up with as many Minecraft lessons as I can. And it doesn't make sense to like pay for this if we're only going to do like one Minecraft lesson. And so I talked to my staff and my admin about it, and they were willing to get it, but then I had to get students to download the Minecraft EDU version if I wanted to share certain worlds, as opposed to like if they just had Minecraft. And it just seemed like kind of a headache just to make one project happen. So instead, I was like, well, why don't I just find an alternative for the students who don't have Minecraft? I'll get it to where I don't have to do a shared world, where I kind of come up with a template world and give it to them, and then they modify it and then turn it back into me, because I'm like, now I got to deal with those downloaded files and opening it up. And that was a lot, especially for someone who doesn't actually play Minecraft. I don't play Minecraft, and I played enough over the summer to kind of learn how to actually do it. But it wasn't something that I was doing in my regular time. So that's where this is coming from. It's coming from a place where me not playing very much, me not wanting to invest a ton of money into Minecraft EDU, the school version of Minecraft, because then I would have to do more projects, and I only want to do one right now. And not everyone's super into Minecraft, and so I needed an alternative solution. So that's the context for this project. And so Clasicube, it took me a while to find this, surprisingly, but Clasicube is kind of your alternative to Minecraft. And some of my students that were really into Minecraft actually just wanted to kind of figure out and see what you could do with Clasicube. And so let me take a look at the notes. So I gave them a little tutorial on how to do, of what to do. And I've shared that in the description as well. It was just a Loom video. Hey, what's going on? August, good to see you. If you use blocks called smooth stone or any valuable blocks, they will have a border, so you can count them better. Also use glass. August, I was actually going to share a student's work that did something like that. And so this was a tutorial that I gave the students on like what was expected of them. It was just a Loom video, and then I kind of went through and just told them what the project was, and really what the project is they were building cubes. They were building a 1 by 1 by 1 cube, and a 2 by 2 by 2 cube, and a 3 by 3 by 3 cube, and a 4 by 4 by 4 cube, and so forth. And so students to learn. I walked through how I did that in Clasicube, and how I actually created a flat world. And so this one, it was kind of hard to see when you started building them, but if you hold the mouse there, you can see that this one was a 2 by 2 by 2. And I kind of walked them through how they could do that. And so this was just a tutorial of what was expected of the project and what they were actually building in Minecraft. And just for time's sake, I can kind of show you what, like when I was building this 2 by 2 by 2. I'm going to make the next size cube that I can make. So let's see. 1, 2. I'm using right click here and backing up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have to ask myself, is this a cube? It's too long, it's too wide, but it's not too tall. I need to go up and then add. You can see where this little cursor is right in the middle. That's where I'm adding my cube. So I'm moving around, hitting right click, moving around, hitting right click. Now is it a cube? Okay. So it's too long, too wide, and too tall. So now I have to ask myself, how many little blocks did it take to make this cube? So the bottom row has 2 by 2, so it's got 4 blocks on the bottom row, and then there's 2 layers of those 4 blocks. So there's 8 blocks altogether. So I'm going to bring up the chat, and I'm going to say the volume of the cube. The volume just means how many small cubes make up this larger cube. So the volume of the cube is 8. If the volume of the cube is 8, what is the side length of the cube? And so that's where I kind of get in the conversation with them. Just as a general practice with videos like this, a lot of times I'll let students watch it on their own, but this one, since it was an introduction to the project and I didn't want to fumble around with actually doing it live with the students, I did the pre-recorded version, and then we watched it together as a class, but I also put that link in their notes, so that way if they needed to refer back to it, they could. And so that's where it says, for the directions of what you need to do, click here. And then it says, fill in the chart as you go. So here's the chart. Let me show you what what the actual final version was supposed to look like. They got a blank chart, and then they should have showed, okay, what's the volume of the cube? Let me put that in radical form. And then I had a little Loom video right here on how to do this little radical form version, which is students usually do not learn like how to do these types of little equations on the computer until much later in their schooling career. But being that we're virtual, I'm like, well, might as well teach them now about insert equation and then showing them like where to find what they are looking for, and then just how to copy and paste the equation multiple times and just changing what they need to change throughout. So there was a tutorial there at the top on how to actually make that radical form, and then the cube root. And so my hope with this was that they were making the connection between, okay, here's the volume. Okay, radical form means like if I'm trying to find the cube root of 8, and then it's like, okay, the cube root is actually how long one side is, that's 2. And a lot of students were getting that. And I found that with this, still some students were just like, oh, this is that thing where I just copy and paste and change the number that's in the first column and put them in the second column. And then from here, I'm just supposed to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So over and over and over again, I kept saying, okay, what do I mean when I say, how do I say this out loud? They're like, but 8 divided by 3. And I'm like, okay, so this is actually something called a cube root. The way you would say that number is the cube root of 8. And what I'm asking is if I have a volume of 8, saying what's the cube root of 8 is saying how long one side is. So I want you to tell me the cube root of 8 is 2. Okay, can you tell me that? Okay, the cube root of 8 is 2. Okay, what is this one saying? The cube root of 216. Okay, so what is the cube root of 216? It's 6. So what does that mean? Okay, how big is 216? 216 what? There's like 216 squares, blocks, and the whole thing. And so how long is one side? It's 6. Okay, so the cube root of 216 is 6. So it was just repeating that over and over again to try to get students to really make that connection, because a lot of students were building the cubes and then they were filling in the chart. But as it goes, like even when you just tell them the algorithm, it's just things that they're memorizing or patterns that they're seeing. So it's just trying to make that connection as much as possible. And so if you are finding this helpful, hit the like button. I usually don't say that in live streams, but I've been reading this stuff that says like, if you ask people to hit the like button and they hit the like button, then YouTube actually recommends this video to more people. So if you think this is worth recommending to other people, hit the like button and it will get recommended to more people. So this was what the chart should have looked like. They got a blank version of it. And then I put this little note here in there to kind of show them what all this means, why the cube root of 64 is 4. And so I do want to take a look at what a couple students ended up turning in, because I was pretty impressed, because at first, I mean, some students did it like what I did, where I just kind of made a really basic cube, a 1 by 1 by 1, a 2 by 2 by 2. But some students really went with it. So look, here's one student and what she did. She actually did it. It looks like she did it in Minecraft. She created a flat world, and then this is what she did. We won't watch the whole thing, but you can kind of get the idea.
These are my cubes. If I go over, if I go over to the first one, I did them inspired by the upgrades that you get. So the first one is wood, stone, iron, gold, diamond. So the cube root of 1, which is just one little cube.
So right there, I wanted them to make a note of what was being shown with that cube, and I wanted them to write out the cube root of 1 is what, and then so forth.
Is 1, and then if you go to this square, the cube root of 8 is 2. So there are 8 blocks consisting in this, which you can actually see all of 1, 2, 4.
And so she went all the way through, and some of the students.
Okay. The cube root of 216 is 6. So
some of the students were asking, do I need to fill in the whole cube? And I told them no, because that would take a lot of time. As long as the outside layer is built up, let's just assume it's filled in, because we are finding the volume. A couple students who are pretty savvy in Minecraft, there's like a command text that you can type something in, and it's basically computer code, and then you can basically tell it to build blocks a certain length, width, and height, and then when you hit enter, it builds it automatically. And I told that student, and I was like, hey, if you know how to do that, go for it, and like just make it look cool and make it look awesome. And he was all about it too. So you don't have to know a ton about Minecraft to be able to do this. And if a student finds a faster way of doing it, as long as they understand the concept, then that's fine. And if they found a faster way of doing it, that means they probably love Minecraft, which means they're probably just going to find other cool things to do with this project, and hopefully learn about some cube roots. Here was another student, and he.
Well, hello there. I wasn't able to get Loom work today on this computer in Minecraft, so I'm just using the in Minecraft recording stuff. Over here, this is your house, Tom, if you remember, on my...
So what's funny about that is I lead up the Minecraft Club, and really that's just me opening up a Zoom room, letting the kids that come to Minecraft Club decide what they want to do, and then playing Minecraft. And a lot of times I still have like work I need to do, and so they'll be playing and I'll be in a breakout room. But occasionally I will also play with them, and this was one student's world, a world you can share together, and then different people can come to those worlds, which has a lot of really cool opportunities for other lessons, but back to the beginning of the video where I said I didn't have like a ton of lesson ideas that I wanted to do. But this was just a Minecraft Club, and I created a little house there, which the student has expanded on and made it even better. But he goes through and he kind of flies over to a different part of his world. And you can actually see over here on the right that he's created this really elaborate, it almost looks like the apple structure, apple shrine of cubes. And so he goes through and he kind of shares, he's put them inside these, he put them inside these glass houses and made them out of glass and made it to where you can actually see the borders of each one.
Yeah, we have cubes 1 through 5, oops.
So you can see right there, he had a note there. It was a 5 by 5 by 5 cube.
5, oops.
He's got a broken window there.
All the way down to 1 by 1 there, 6 by 6 to 9 by 9 here. And then the 10 by 10's in the middle. And I just wanted to celebrate, so.
And so he has these little fireworks to celebrate his cube root knowledge, his cube root explosions. So.
Today.
So I show that just to show, like, the kids will take this and really run with it. You're going to have kids that love Minecraft. You're going to have kids that never played Minecraft. And that's where the Clasicube option comes into place, where they can just go and create something and then figure out. You can see the controls there. I don't have my mouse. There we go. And then they can build their, goodness gracious. I don't have my, here we go. I'm used to playing with a mouse, and now I'm playing with my keyboard, and now I can't do it. But they can place it there. And there's instructions that I have on the tutorial for that. So that's the gist of the assignment. Hey, where am I? There I am. After they do that, or part of what they're doing, they're gonna, after they fill in the chart, I do give them a Khan Academy cube roots activity that's like, what's the cube root of this? Or 7 is the cube root of what number? And I grade that as just the short formative homework assignment. And then I do want to see a Loom or a screencast of their Minecraft world. And then again, that solves the problem of them sharing this world with me and then me having to download it and open up Minecraft to see it. I just want to see what they did. And so you can see this student, she did a Loom video screencast, and the other student, he said he was having problems with Loom, so he just turned in a Google Drive video. And then I had a couple questions on perimeter area and volume and differentiating between the two of them, or the three of them, because we are talking about volume in this case. And so an area was square roots, which was right before, and I didn't want them to get confused with what perimeter was either. So, and then just a few short questions. Gaming with Carmel. Will this live stream be uploaded later so I can come back to it? Yes, Gaming with Carmel. It will be on my YouTube channel, so you can come back to it and kind of see it. And I've also got some of the resources down in the description, so hopefully it'll be helpful to you. I had a question with remote learning. I usually would have, like with these notes, I would have more questions related to cube roots and stuff. But with remote learning, these assignments, I'm trying to make them as few questions as I need. And so I talk about like changing the context to a gift box and having a volume. What's the cube root of that box? Some students who did all the Minecraft stuff were like, what does that mean? I'm like, okay, instead of a gift box, let's say you have a Minecraft cube that's made up of 216 blocks, 216 cubic centimeters. We talk a lot about what this means right here, because a lot of students will think, does that mean I have to put 216 to the third power? And we talk about what does it mean when the little 3 exponent is attached to the centimeter versus attached to the 216. And we talk about that means, oh, you have got a cubic centimeter. That is just a unit. That is one cube long, or 1 centimeter long, 1 centimeter wide, 1 centimeter tall. And so I do end up having to talk about that a lot, because students see that exponent of 3 and they just want to start raising things to the third power whenever they see the number next to it. So we talk about that, and then they get to the idea, oh, you're just asking how long one side is, and then how do you know that? Well, 3 times 3 times 3, or 6 times 6 times 6. And then I talk about numbers like 27 and 64, whether or not they are perfect squares and perfect cubes. With 27, they will say it is not a perfect square, because no number times itself, no integer, no whole number, times itself will give me 27. But if we're talking about a perfect cube, then they're realizing it's a number times itself again that can give me 27, and then we have 3 times 3 times 3. And so that is that lesson. And then I do end up having them do a mastery. Do I ever do a mastery? Cube root mastery. So after all that is said and done, I'm like, okay, did they actually get what I wanted them to get? And so they end up just taking this quick summative assessment worth 50 points. And sometimes I will have them actually do a Loom video where they explain these answers, so I know they understand it, but they're saying, well, a cube root is this, and how do we use the Minecraft activity, and the way that I got this answer was this, and the way I got this answer was this. And I have had students say, because I let them use a calculator, because I'm like, well, it's remote. You don't know who's using calculator, who's not. So just give it to them and then ask them questions that they have to explain. So it doesn't matter if they use a calculator. They have to show that they know it. I had a student say, well, I put this in the calculator and that's my answer. It was like, okay, that's not going to work. We need to understand this. And so this was a 5-question summative that they took after they actually did the cube root assignment, just so I could see if they understood it, and they could reassess this if they wanted to. Okay. So all of those resources I have put down in the description of this video, of this live stream, from the notes that I gave students, and that has links to like the tutorial on Clasicube and the expectations for them. Also, I have the link to Clasicube on there as well. And in the marketing world, they say, like, if you've got something that people want to download, you can use that as a lead magnet and have someone give them your email so you can give it back to them. I didn't feel like setting all those pages up like I normally do, so those links are just there. You're not going to have to give me your email or anything like that, but a newsletter that I send out every Monday. There's a link that talks about more free resources. Sign up for any of those free resources. You can even take a look at what they are right here. If you sign up for any of these free resources, this is linked in the chat, it will add you to the newsletter. I don't even know if I have a thing that just says, add me to the newsletter. So maybe I should add that too. But look to see if there's any of these things that you're interested in. They are linked down in the description, and those you will put your email in, and then it'll get emailed to you. But all the Minecraft stuff is just in there. It is 8:54. This is a 30-minute live stream. And if this is the first time you're here, every live stream, some context, my teacher business makes some money, and last year I put a little bit of the portions of money that I make through my teacher business in a separate fund that I'd like to give back to some educational purpose, some educational cause. All last year, though, I never knew what to give to. And so when I started the live stream, I thought, well, let me actually just use that money, and each week I'll give $50 to a middle school STEM class on Donors Choose. At least Epic Gamer thing. Yeah, Epic Game. What's up, Maxery? At least until my fund of Give Money runs out. And so that's what I've been doing, going to Donors Choose. If you are a teacher and you have a Donors Choose account, you're a middle school STEM teacher, and you're here during these live streams, you get dibs on getting this donation if you leave your Donors Choose during this time in the live stream chat. But until as this live stream kind of goes, until it gets to that point where people are tuning in live and leaving those comments in the chat, I will be going to look at some on Donors Choose. And I found one this morning that I'd like to give to. This is Mrs. Ryan over in Oklahoma. She's a 6th grade teacher doing 6th grade math. And she wants to make her lessons pretty enjoyable and fun, which is what we all want, which is the whole purpose of this channel, is to create a meaningful and an engaging classroom experience for your students. So the classroom's full of bright fluorescent lights that hurt students' eyes and cause headaches, making it harder to pay attention and learn. I hate fluorescent lights. I don't have fluorescent lights here. I've got these lights here. I string lights around the classroom so I can turn off the harsh fluorescent lights. The softer lights will provide my students with a warm ambience to de-stress their school day and encourage learning. The lights will help students feel more comfortable as well and get rid of anxiety that they may have at school. This will also help them do better in math. Thank you for your donation. So while this isn't like a direct donation to classroom resources, I do think that this is a meaningful thing to have every year. When I was in elementary school, I always had lamps, and I would go to Goodwill to get a bunch of them. And so it's not. I don't like I think the ambiance of your room can really have an impact on your students. And so I thought that this one was worth giving to. It is a middle school STEM class. And so I will be giving, letting her finish out she only needs $46. And so I already got my credit card saved, so I don't have to retype that live on the internet. But let's place the $45 donation. And this is Mrs. Ryan. This is the message that I used last time. So let me use this message, but change it up a little bit. Hey there, Mrs. Ryan. My name's Tom, fellow middle school STEM teacher. I have a live YouTube show each Wednesday. I'll say Gibson, so if she does want to find the YouTube show, she can. Where I donate to a fellow classroom, and I saw yours on Donors Choose. I hate fluorescent lights as well. Fluorescent lights as well. Let's make sure fluorescent is spelled correctly. Hope you're able to find. How's your stream going so smooth? I have a fast computer, but it doesn't go as fast as you're going. I'll tell you in a second, Maxery. I hope you're able to find some good lights and to create a wonderful ambiance for your students! Exclamation point. All right, post my message. Oh, it says Tom Gibson right here. I'll just put Tom in the message then. Maybe I can add a photo. Select from file. Let's go to Google Drive. I've got a place where I keep all of my branding photos. Branding, avatars. Where's avatars? Let's do alphabetical order. Avatars. Which one? Tom Gibson 4.2. Watch that one be too big or something like that. So I'm uploading that picture, and hopefully it'll save that for the next time. And then that will be it. Try loading your photo. Preview. Is this it? Preview. Save. Yay. Oh no. I have to use the whole message again. Dang it. Okay, well, I'll do that in just a second, and then I'll post it, or I'll send it to them. Maxery, to answer your question with using some of this stuff, I'm using a Mac Mini, which is pretty good. I'm also using a different computer to show like this stuff right here. So this is not the actual same computer I'm streaming on, which helps. And I'm making sure my output settings match my device here, which is an A10 Mini, which has 2 cameras plugged in, so I can switch between like that. And I'm going out. The camera is filming at 29.97, and the output of the ATEM is at 29.97, and then the output of OBS is at 29.97 frames per second. And so it's little things like that, making sure all those settings are lined up. And so I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. I do appreciate all of you all joining today for the middle school STEM classroom. Join me next week, next Wednesday, and we will continue our discussions on what's working, what's not working. New videos every Sunday morning, probably while you're lesson planning is the idea around that, to hopefully help you out. But thanks so much for joining, and I will see you next week during the Middle School STEM Teachers Lounge.